Bow, and just like that, we are live. Are we in jail? The vlog, episode 3? That's crazy, Standish. Episode 3? I hope y'all are enjoying these as much as I am. This is actually pretty cool. I enjoy doing this. I'm glad I did it. I've been releasing graphics for the other two. So every time I do one of these, I'll put a custom graphic. I'll upload it to my website, all the socials, and we'll run with it, man. So make sure y'all stay tuned into all of my socials, and make sure you hit this motherfucking subscribe button. I'm brand new to YouTube. I'm new to this vlog shit. Make sure you hit that subscribe. I'm already verified because I'm a music artist. Make sure you subscribe. ASAP, ASAP, mandatory. This one right here, this is Inside ERC, aka Edmonton Remand Center, the zoo. Life inside the zoo. Wow. Life inside the zoo. So my life inside of the zoo was a little bit different because I'm American, right? Very, very rare that you see an American in a foreign prison, correct? So my case was pretty crazy. The booking process was wild. I think the most humiliating part of it all was the strip searches. And I'm sure that goes with any facility, but at ERC specifically, the strip searches were so terrible, so humiliating. Turn around, bend over, spread your ass cheeks, spread them wider. Those type of checks. So I went through, I probably had at least, give or take 10 of those throughout my 56 days in ERC. Shakedowns, I've had my cell flipped, everything in my cell trashed, my clothes hanger, my clothesline ripped all down. I had a coffee sitting on a table. They took that coffee and they spilled it all over my documents, my paperwork, my stuff from my attorneys. I had phone numbers from family and friends, stuff like that. If they see you with anything in there, they're gonna ruin it. That's the ERC specialty. So once you get through booking, it takes hours to get through booking, for one. I sat in a holding cell for hours on end. They put me by myself in that holding cell from that point because I'm legally blind, and they didn't want me in there with 15 other guys, fucking with me or anything. So they did put me alone while I was in the process of being, basically put into my unit. Now, I was general population. Of course, I'm general population medical infirmary because I am legally blind. So they put me in GPMI. I was booked into GPMI at, I'd say, around 11 p.m. at night. When you're booked into ERC, you get a bag. Now, this bag is clear. It's got Velcro on the top. Now, when you open this bag up, you've got 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of blacky tighties, not whitey tighties, blacky tighties. You get 2 bars of soap about that big, about that long, really, really thin bars. Non-scent, no scent at all, just scentless. You get 2 toothpastes, miniature size. You get 2 miniature toothbrushes. Now the toothbrush, it only had enough room for your thumb and your finger. So you gotta basically put your hand in your mouth, as you're brushing your teeth with those, because they're so small. They do that so we can't sharpen them and go shank somebody, right? All the people, ruin the good things for us. So we didn't get a razor. We didn't get fingernail clippers, which I know sounds crazy. Now you could apply to get a nail file, but who wants to sit there and file their nails, man? It was crazy. So I never could get my hands on any fingernail clippers. I asked day after day after day after day after day. Different COs, different shifts. Nobody's wanting to give them up. Nobody was willing to give up no fingernail clippers and no razor. So I had to actually pay for a barber to come in. Now at ERC, it's $20 for a haircut, and it's $5 for your beard. So $25, that's CAD. So me being American, that's like around $18 for me, out of pocket, out of my bank, $18. But 25 CAD, get your hair and your beard done. It's very fast, very crappy job. They come in, they don't talk to the inmates. They and they don't do no crazy line. They might get a little bit off your neck. That's it. They're in and out. So I think it was the fastest haircut I've ever gotten. It probably took about 6 minutes for my head and my beard. 6 minutes. That was my first. I'll never forget my first night that I got my hair cut. They cut my hair. I didn't have shampoo, and luckily I had already kind of met I had been in there for at least 2 weeks already. So I had met a few good boys, good Canadian boys that were willing to, throw me some shampoo. So shout out to my boy Michael. They call him Robo Arm. He had like pins in his arm and stuff. He was in medical. He's hurt. So shout out to my boy Michael, man. He actually had my back too. So after the barber got done cutting my hair, all my hair was in this shower. Well, this kid named Herman was like, go over here and get this hair. Go over, get this hair. Get this hair right now. Hey. He's yelling. He's trying to get my attention. My boy Michael says, hey, man, he's legally blind, bro. You gotta, first off, you gotta come different. You gotta talk to him different. He don't even know who you're talking to, bro. You need to chill. So my boy Michael put this boy Herm in check quicker than hell. And he goes, hey man, I'm gonna go get you some shampoo. He gave me a bottle of shampoo. He said, make sure you bring that shit back when it's done. Don't leave it in the shower because people are gonna steal it. So I went there, I scrubbed up my hair, came out looking fresh. And while I did that, again, my boy Michael, man, that Herm guy was yelling at me for having my hair everywhere. He wanted me to put it in a dustpan and shit. My boy Michael said, man, my boy's blind. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to put it in a dustpan and I'm going to throw it away for him. Then I'm going to go tell Herman, don't ever do that shit again. So, man, shout out Mike, bro. Shout out Mike, bro. He had me on that one. And that was my first haircut. Like I said, I was new to the whole jigger, right? So shout out him, man. Shout out him on that one. So, man, that was the haircut, the booking. You get just that little clear bag. And also you use that. So commissary was once a week, and it was every Monday. So you had to have a commissary form filled out, turned in Sunday night. So then Monday morning they come in, grab it, and then they'll hit you with your canteen. Now, commissary for me was a lot cheaper, right? Because I'm American and that dollar stretches. So, $1.50 bag of chips was only, 80-90 cents for me, maybe $1.05, I still had a discount pretty much on everything. So long story short, if I put $82 on my canteen, I had maximum canteen in Canada, which is $120 in ERC. So, I basically got like a $40 stretch off of, my conversion on money. So I was the snack plug, man. Ask about Stan. I was the snack plug in there, man. I was hooking everybody up with moon pies. I had wild berry Skittles. We've had some good sodas in there. We had Coca-Colas. We had Canada Dries. And I know it sounds crazy, but I had my first ever Canada Dry in Canada in prison. So I never had a Canada Dry. Now I've had ginger ale in America, but not Canada Dry. So I did fall in love with Canada Dry. And in there, I was putting my wild berry Skittles in my Canada Dry, shaking it a little bit. You got to be careful the way because it'll shoot out the top. So you do it the right way, you become a pro, and you got a wild berry ginger ale in motherfucking jail. Let's get it, man. And actually, check this out. I want to show y'all something. This is one of my prized possessions, ERC. Now, all my boys from ERC, they know what the hell this is. They know what this is immediately. You got that red address book. This is the ERC address book that they give every inmate. And not only that, I'm going to show y'all something really cool. Check this out. You know those wild berry Skittles I was just talking about? Ain't no way. And this right here is my actual commissary from another country in prison right here. Wild berry Skittles. Yes, it made it back to America with me. I had it right here in my address book. There are a few things that I quote unquote smuggled back. More so just, souvenirs. Here is also a letter that I actually, looks like I never even opened because I can't read anything on white paper. But it does say Christopher Standish, my government name, and then it's got my inmate number, which was 227-3036. So I found those. I wanted to show those, and then also check this out. This is about the stuff. This is what I had right here. This is the ERC clear prison bag that you leave out with. You don't get this in there. You leave out with this, so you can't smuggle anything crazy out, right? This right here, the stuff in this was the stuff I had in my cell with me. So literally, I had just this right here. I had everything in my everything that I had in life stripped from me, and I was down to what is in this clear bag right here. No joke, man. No joke. You do not want to go to jail. You do not want to go to prison. You do not want to be a criminal. You do not want to go to school, listen to your parents, do what you got to do to be successful. Do it the right way, because you do not want to live like this. That's what I can say. This is everything I had. This is all I had to my name. A bunch of papers, man. That's it. A bunch of papers, an address book. I can't even see to read the damn address book. You know, I mean, I have boys write numbers and all that good stuff in them, but it's like at the end of the day, you know, I can barely see them. I gotta have somebody read it off to me, or I gotta take a picture of it and zoom, you know, 1,000% just to be able to see one of the numbers on it. So it's crazy. You do not want to live like this, y'all. That is ERC's finest right there, man. I know a lot of people don't really show behind the scenes stuff, but I just showed my commissary, a letter with my inmate number. I've also got my letter of incarceration for my 56 days at ERC. I will be putting that out too. But yeah, man, you do not want to live with this right here, man. This is all I was confined to. I was 23-hour lockdown, 1 hour out. If you got lucky enough to get that 1 hour out, mind you. Most days I was locked up for 23 and a half hours. GPMI, that's the specialty, man. So, man, that right there, what else can man, the showers, man, you do not want to go to jail. That's all I gotta say, man. The showers were terrible. You know, you're, you know, butt naked, helicopters out and all, man. I mean, in front of all the boys, in front of all the COs, male, female, you got cameras above you. You know, you're being watched in every way possible. Man, the showers are filthy. You know, there's people in there doing some nasty business. There's people in there with MRSA. There's people in there, you know, cutting themselves. There's people I seen it all in there. I seen it all in ERC, man. There is nothing that I didn't see in there. I've seen people OD in ERC. I've seen people croak out and get taken out on a stretcher in ERC in my 56 days in there. Yeah, I've seen some crazy things. And it's just an environment that obviously nobody deserves to be in. That is a lot of my stuff right there. So I went through the process. I went through the commissary. I went through the showers. The cells, man, the cells were very gross, very disgusting cells. They pay a cleaner, quote unquote, $10 to clean out each cell once the boys leave out. And I guess they get paid $10 on commissary for doing each one. Well, these cleaners didn't clean. That's all I got to say. These cleaners did not clean. These cells were filthy. I moved multiple different cells as well. There were some COs that, you know, would let you choose. There were other COs where they would force you in with somebody that you do not like or do not get along with. Me being legally blind, of course, I was on MI. I'm not a gang member, but yes, there was gang members in there. Of course, it's prison, right? So when they booked me in, they said, okay, there's no gang affiliation. There's no sex charges, so he's going to GP. He's blind, so he's going to MI, GP, MI. I went through all that regular stuff. I stood 100 throughout everything. And I can't say this. All the people from the street. Now, everybody in the street that thinks, oh, man, I'm street smart. And I, you know, if I went to jail, this and that. Look, the streets isn't jail. The streets is not jail. Nothing matters. None of that street shit matters when you are in jail. So all that, all that crazy stuff thinking, oh, I'm from the streets and this and that. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but that ain't going to get you far in there. It ain't going to get you far. Good luck with it though. Yeah, the street smarts, it don't matter in a place like that. Man, really, really messed up environment. A lot of screams, a lot of yelling, a lot of banging on doors, just to hear those doors close. Oh man, that close of that door, that cling of that door, the CO's boots, walking down to your cell, that. Oh man, there's so much that I could vividly remember just because, sound wise, just because I'm so blind. I can remember so many different sounds. Like I said, so many screams. I heard a lot about, wake up, you're gonna OD, wake up, you're gonna OD. I heard that, I think, every single night in there. Man, what an environment. At ERC, you don't get visitors. And I know that sounds crazy, but yes, it's maximum security, 23-1. You do not have in-house visitors. You can only make phone calls. So I was stuck with phone calls. And, another thing I want to mention is, they say that we can't have in-house visitors because it reduces the factor of drugs or items getting into this jail that aren't supposed to be in there. Well, what's wild is me being firsthand in there and knowing the up to the top to bottom, all of it, knowing there are more drugs in that jail. And them boys are loving going back to ERC because they can find drugs in there like that. But when they're on the streets, it's hard to find. So you tell me how those drugs are getting into ERC. We couldn't have visitors now. You tell me how those drugs are getting in ERC. And I know too much. Hey, if I said anything, that's it for me. If I said anything, that's it for me. I know too much, and I'm going to keep it at that. So, man, there are things out here in this life that you question so hard. And this is one of those scenarios, man. This is one of those scenarios. But Edmonton Remand Center, man, it is a place full of animals. You do not want to go to Edmonton Remand Center. I tried to wrap in this vlog, this episode, as much as I could. Just, getting booked in and what the daily life is in there. Food wise, I know a lot of people probably ask about food. I had commissary. Like I said, I was maxed out commissary every week. I was the plug for snacks. I loved making prison burritos. I'd get the jalapeno Cheetos and mix it up in the noodles and have my little prison burrito. I'd throw a couple of things in there, man. I was making a homemade granola. I'd cut up some oranges, some apples, bananas, put them in there. Man, I had some good little snacks in there, man. I had some good little snacks. And the food, you got Monday through Friday, you got 3 meals a day at ERC. But then Saturday and Sunday, only 2 meals. Yes, 2 meals. And the proportions are not enough to get you full off either or. So could you imagine not getting full off 2 meals Saturday and Sunday and being in jail, man? So the people who didn't have commissary, they were running to boys like me because I was plugging everybody with the snack cakes and all the good stuff, man. All the good stuff. I had peanuts in there. I had I had mints. I had Werther's, Skittles. I had all kinds of different Cheetos. I was getting 10 plus bags a week of Cheetos. I was getting noodles. Of course, you gotta have the noodles. That's just a good trade, man. I was always trading stuff. I had coffee in there heavy. The coffee, ERC specialty is the Nescafe single packs. The Nescafe, man, that's the coffee right there. If you're gonna drink instant coffee, that is the coffee, Nescafe. Man, it just wow, the experience is crazy. The food was very gross. A lot of it I didn't eat. I was selling my trays. I was trading my trays. I was doing a whole lot of bartering in there, man. When you're in a place like that, in an environment like that, you got to. And I'm the type of dude, I help people, and I don't want nothing back, man. Look, if I throw you a snack cake, don't put it on the book, because then it's gonna be problems later. Just take it, know that it is what it is. I appreciate you, and just know I'm the snack plug, but don't, we don't owe nobody. There ain't no borrowing, none of that stuff in ERC, man. You don't, even if it's $1, man, you get your ass slapped for $1, over $1. And mind you, a Canadian dollar is only like 78 cents for me. What I look like getting slapped over 78 cents? You can have this snack cake. It's not that serious, man. And luckily, I was in a position to be able to do that with boys. And it was cool. I helped a lot of people out. I met a lot of great people. I had 8 different cellmates in that time that I stayed. I didn't get into no fights, like fist fights with my cellmates. I did get into a couple little, kind of back and forth. When you're locked up in a cell with someone from another country for 23 hours a day, you're not going to agree on everything, right? You don't touch my side, I don't touch your side. You don't steal from me, I don't steal from you. There's certain things that you do in there that are just code, or else you wouldn't be staying on that unit. You'd get checked off that unit quicker than lightning. Probably for an instant coffee. One instant coffee would get you checked off that unit. And that's how easy it is. So yeah, man, it's all, leverage, man. What's your leverage, man? What's your leverage? So, man, shout out to the whole damn thing that went down, man. I came 110. I stood 10 toes. I never folded. I never did no crazy shit. I never got stabbed up. Ask about me, man. I did a lot of people good. I helped a lot of people. I came up with the movement, Are We in Jail? I had that circulating through the unit, and I had boys just happy off the movement, happy that I was American. You gotta remember, I was 1 out of 3,300 inmates, or 3K plus, let's say that, over 3,000 inmates, and I was the only American. So mind you, not only was I a high status because I was an American, but I was the only American. On top of it was tariff week. I got a lot of backlash from COs for being from America. Go back to your country and take your tariffs with you. Oh, you're a Donald Trump support. Your president is Donald Trump. I had to tell half them boys, man, you don't even know what you're talking about, because you be laughing at yourself when I told you that I didn't even vote for Trump, and you're over here pushing me around and trying to argue with me, like just putting labels on people, man. So it was a crazy, crazy time to be locked up during the tariff war, man. And I was in contact with the U.S. consulate, the United States consulate. Shout out to the consulate for getting me video visitation, just to make sure I wasn't getting abused or beat up or anything. They requested that they see me on video since I couldn't have visitors, just to make sure that I wasn't being, abused. They know the conditions. They know what's going on. So yeah, man, crazy. I got these t-shirts. Look at these amazing t-shirts. These right here, man. I love these to death. This right here is the Are We in Jail ebook t-shirt right here. This is black. I got them on orange. We got the Free Stand t-shirts with the Are We in Jail logo on the back, and then on the front it's got the Free Standish with the Standish913.com logo. It's got a Canadian flag, an American flag. Yeah, man, they all come brand new in the package like this. Boom, never been touched. Get them no stains, guaranteed when you receive them. Very, very quick shipping too. The ebook I'm gonna put in the description below. Please get the ebook. If you buy a t-shirt, you get the ebook for free. So remember that. If you want either or, just think about that. If you get a t-shirt, you get the ebook for free. So I will do that. And we are still taking funding for the Are We in Jail documentary, man. This documentary is going to be absolutely insane. I wouldn't be promoting this every single day for the last few months. Heavy new flyers, new descriptions, new promos, new everything every single day. The Are We in Jail movement is growing. Shout out to everybody who has been wrongfully accused, because I am the voice for you guys now. And I do consider myself as an amazing, legally blind civil rights activist. From here on out, man, when you get put in situations like this, what do you do other than stand up for yourself, stand up for your rights, and then stand up for the other people who didn't get the chance or didn't have the courage to come out and do what I'm doing? Man, sometimes you just gotta ask yourself, are we in jail? Come on, man. Stop playing. Are We in Jail, the vlog? This is episode 3. We out. I'll see y'all episode 4. Let's get it, man. Little L out here catching big W's. Are we in jail? Peace, y'all.